How will I'm almost afraid to even ask this question in this room. But how will politics affect the markets? Okay. I would say we get this question quite a bit too. We have an election coming up next year, and a lot of people say, hey, this election is gonna make or break our country. And you know what? And you guys have been around long enough, they kind of say that every time, right? Like that's kind of always the story. Like this, I'm telling you, this is the one. This is the one that's gonna make the big difference. I mean, I've been around long enough to see that, and it's kind of always the case, right? If we look at the data, and this thing's really blowing around, apologize for that. But if we look at the data, there's not a historic precedence for the elections or politics significantly affecting the markets. The way I would describe this is the markets are even larger than an election, okay? I'm not saying an election or politics can't affect the market, but the market finds a way to get back to pricing itself, and it can overcome a little blip of an election or of a political party changing. If we look at the data over time, and this is the last 50 years, we see the 34 years that we had a divided Congress and White House, we had about just under a 12% average annualized rate of return over those years. When we had a unified Congress and White House, it was like spot on at 12%. This is the S&P over those 16 years. When it was unified under Republicans, slightly higher, Democrats slightly lower. But the point of this is that no matter who's been in charge, when the switching of the guard has happened, the markets tend to settle around the same place, which is around a 12% year-over-year average. The thing I would caution you on when it comes to politics, and this can be difficult because we are more politically energized than ever, right, in what we believe and what we think should happen. But what I would caution you on here is to not make big decisions because you have a gut feeling. So I wouldn't go change your whole plan because you think, hey, I think the market's going to take off because of this election, or because I think the market's going to tank because of this election. So I'm going to go change everything. I would not encourage anybody to do that. In fact, I would say I would recommend that you highly discount some of the noise that you hear. And you are going to hear it. I mean, over the next year, a little over a year, you're going to hear that noise. You're going to hear a party talking about how they're going to make the market soar, and the other party is going to make it crash, and all these things. It happens every cycle, okay? And historically speaking, there's no precedence to believe that that's going to significantly move the markets one way or the other. If there is a short-term movement, it could cause some volatility, but if we look at history, it's self-corrected pretty quickly back to where our pricing was in either direction.